Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Apropos of Donald Trump, I do feel for him and the cover of Time magazine. No one likes a shot when they do a photo
underneath.
Upwards, because you get jowls.
He looks like a deflated balloon.
Yeah,
it's interesting, though, that it is a positive article. The headline says his triumph, but he has said Time magazine wrote a relatively good story about me, but the picture may be the Capital's worst of all time.
It's the worst
They
picture
disappeared my hair and then had something floating on the top of my head that looked like a floating crown, but an extremely small one. Really weird.
Do you think they did it on purpose?
I don't. Well,
Because sometimes I do wonder, have you, and this has happened
we've all had bad pictures
to
taken.
all of us. We have a lot in common with Donald on this.
But it's hard to call it out. Remember when Gina Reinhardt called out that portrait of her?
As soon as you call it out,
Everyone looks 18 million times as hard and ridicules it even more.
it becomes meme city, and that's already happening with Donald. There's some
Of the
memes.
memes. They've put Kim Kardashian's new hairy Skims, which is like a pubic wig. They put that on his throat to cover up what looks like an area.
Yeah. And then
Another one is grabbing himself. He says, I'm grabbing myself by the whatevers. Because the neck does look
But you've got to be careful with
private.
photographers. You've got to be careful with photographers.
Andrew Denton has a photo that always gets used of him, and gee, it makes me laugh. This is from a number of years ago. But you can't work out why it looks slightly skew if he was hanging upside down in a tree and they've turned it upside down and just used his headshot. He had his arms crossed. He was hanging up like a bat, but they've just used his face for years afterwards.
Remember that time you were doing a fashion parade for the unfashionable?
Yeah.
And you were doing this mentally deranged face.
Yeah. I was pulling the massive rough head, as was Andrew, and we're pointing at our bottoms going, moo.
Yeah.
And that got used completely out of context, full blown up, thinking
Yeah.
Women's Day or something,
I
with
remember.
none of the context of how that photo was taken.
I remember my local newspaper was doing an article, local boy makes good. And he said, what do you want to do? And I said, why don't I do that cheesy thing that you guys all like where I cut my ear and go, neck minute. It's the front full
It
size.
wasn't on time.
It's a full page front lift out section. And they still use it to this day.
Oh.
And I have my bad choppers.
Oh,
So we've got a lot in common with Donald.
I know.